I said 10,000 naira to come and burn people's goods, millions. As a matter of fact, while we were saying that is that her sister was involved, that her sister was even in the warehouse when the fire started burning, that it almost got to her. That how she ran to the street and people were pouring her water. She did not know, but her co-worker died. And I said, and then I was asking her what happened to the court. She said, she didn't know what they did to him after all. So that kind of person deserves to die. I hate jungle justice, but that's the truth. I rest my case for now.
Thank you so much. Paul, you're next.
Yeah, doctor, talking about the stories, like my cousin, who is a security manager in one of these private security firms. The dad is in the military, so he loves the security thing. So whenever we talk about security, try to go online and tell you, Russia have this, America have this. I say, young man, I thought you're a security officer, but in this case, now I don't think you can even educate me when it comes to security. What do I mean by that? You don't Google security online and see. No country will put all the things that they have online for you to see. It doesn't work like that. You understand? How do you discuss security in public? You understand? You are not a licensed practitioner. You don't do things like that. If you want to have a strategy to defend yourself, to fight back, you don't put yourself in public. So in that way around, he is the one that is causing anarchy in the land. And that is wrong. You understand? It's an easy, just like the way you have an honorary degree in some of these universities, they call you doctor, so. It doesn't have a staff in the office. You understand? Yoruba people tolerate those things that the Hausa and the Igbo people do in Lagos. And everything. I guess to some extent, he got carried away and see himself like he have a say. You have a say for only your people. So whenever you want to do stuff like that, you close the door and re-strategize and find out how do you guys protect yourself. Or coming out like that, it's 100% wrong. And I think the right thing to do is to arrest him. And that's exactly what they did. I really, really appreciate that part. Don't go put some young, vulnerable Igbo boys in trouble. You understand? Because they can arrest any Igbo man now and say it's IPOB. What about that? That is the height of stupidity. You don't do that. You guys are going through so much pain. Doctor, please give me 30 seconds. I'll deviate a little bit. I was talking to one of my uncles for a very long time for the past 10, 12 years. I've not even spoke to him. My grandfather's fourth wife son is still my uncle. He's a Yoruba man. I was talking to him. Doctor, do you know what he said? He said they can't even sell land any longer in Aja. Igbo people stop buying land. They used to sell land. It's this uncle that we never had after they claim on my grandfather's property and the land because he's the only Yoruba son in Lagos. He said they can't sell land no more. He said this guy Wala said no, it will not be good with this Tinumbu and Sanwo-Olu people. Say Igbo people refuse to buy land no more. Now they can't sell land. They can't even get no money, no nothing. Say now all the Igbo people that want to move to the same Amu Odofin. So now they are trying to re-strategize to say in one community to dominate the community like the Hausa people. They can't sell land in Aja. I was just laughing. That's so funny. So, doctor, I don't understand. I'm so ashamed of that man. He shouldn't do that next time. That's all I'll say for now.
All right. Thank you. The priest of peace, you're next.
All right. Thank you. First of all, you see this? That is innocent. Okay. I hail him for, producing an ambulance in Igbo land. So that is a very wonderful development. We should give this man kudos. We should support him. Coming to the man that made the statement, how can you, first of all, I am a priest and also I love tradition. How can anybody we're thinking Igbo person talk about being Igbo na Lagos? For what? How? That is the desperation of our tradition. It is not supposed to be heard. It should be union and union. I said something here when the chairman of IGBO World Congress. I said something here on your platform. I said, what IGBO World Congress is doing now is what Oliver the Cook Tirine will say, I believe that is what has killed the Igbo resilience. Now, this man that made a statement, I will not hold him accountable for one reason only, but I will also hold him, accountable for another reason. Number one, MC Olumo incited violence and it impacted us very well. And we are still reaping the effect. Nothing has been done to MC Olumo or whoever, whatever his name is. Nothing has been done to him. He needs to be arrested. Not only him, see FFK, see Keyamo, all these people that have been inciting violence against the Igbo and Igbophobia, they need to be arrested. They should leave this man alone. But coming to him, you see, we Igbos, we don't condone evil. We never. If you are competent, you are competent. If you are not competent, we throw you to the dustbin of history. Now, where I have problem is this, because it is, when we talk about IPOB, people should understand what it is. It is indigenous people, 50, 60 million people. That is what it is. It is indigenous people. It's not one person. And when you are doing anything contrary against these indigenous people, you are targeting 50, 60 million people. So what am I saying? What this man did is in collaboration with the agents, provocators. Because what is going to happen at the end of the day is this. We are going to hear breaking news. IPOB attack Yoruba's business in Lagos. Another breaking news, IPOB attack mosque. This is their game to neutralize. In fact, we need to neutralize this with deep thinking strategies. This has to be stopped. This man in question, if I have Ken, I will flog him until he will shit in his pants. He need not to make that kind of statement. He need to be, see, Igbos don't talk too much. We are proactive people. When we want to do things, we do it proactively. For this man to incite this kind of thing when we are already in danger, it is unconscionable. So they have to release this man within the next 3 days. So they have to release him because he is working, as I believe. This is my opinion. I believe that this man is working in collaboration with the Lagos State government. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Austin, you're next.
For me, I think I'll toe the line of what Priest and the first person said. You don't discuss security issues in public. You are the one paying the people you want to pay. So if in case you need somebody to act as security guard, you go get them privately and look at them. You don't come out and say such a thing. You will now give how will I say, you give the opponent to the ability to know what you want to do. The best form of attack is when you do it, maybe you strike when you least expect it. So my point is that they could have gotten the security people they want to get, try to man their businesses and the rest. You don't come and say it in public. The same thing this person just said, the last speaker spoke, is the same thing that I have in mind. Tomorrow now, the area boys do something. They use the media that belongs to politicians to say IPOB did this, IPOB did that. And the thing becomes more complicated. And I will still, as we say, we still need to slap the police and the DSS. MC Olomo on the no talk. This one, you don't even shout or collect gun from anybody or shout at anybody. And you now carry the police run to and say, you didn't see the one that Ononuga did or said, you didn't see FFK or the Sansan they call Keyamo. I don't call him San because he's not even respected at all. They should strip that thing off his head and do it and hit it on the ground. So you didn't see all those ones, or you didn't see the market that people got that was burnt. So sometimes the way Nigerians do selective justice, that's why there will never be peace. I always say that if somebody goes into a contest and is very sure that he lost, then the person will have peace of mind. The case where you go into a contest and you see that some people are favored and others are not favored, there will never be peace. So Nigeria is, first of all, they do selective justice and they are just irresponsible. Always use that word, very, very irresponsible. And I'll still slap the Igwe who called himself an Igwe for speaking that way. I believe that great Igwes talk with their cabinet and they act. They don't come and shout in public. So I'm not happy with his utterances at all. He will put others in trouble.
All right. Thank you. Ovie.
Yes, I like to see things, from a political angle, because I believe anywhere anywhere organized society, the only game that is being played or that is most important is the game of politics, because it's all about hierarchy, it's all about power, it's all about dominance, however where you find yourself. So I'll start by quoting Bill Barr, a former Attorney General under Donald Trump, and I think under Reagan too. He wrote a book called One Damn Thing After Another. He described what happened, how Donald Trump presidency, what led it to the end of his presidency, and to continue to today, where he gave about 3 cases against him, 4 cases. I mean, three being a criminal, 1 being civil, another one damn thing after another. Now, why am I drawing that correlation to what is happening between the tension now between the two, the Southwest and the Southeast? Is that there's no way we can ignore the newfound cohesion among the Southeast. I mean, not in my lifetime, I've never seen it before, politically speaking. The Igbo man across the nation, for once, the majority of them are on one accord. Whether I disagree or agree. This is the first time I'm seeing it in my own lifetime. And there's a threat against that cohesion. What is happening in Lagos, it is going to continue, one damn thing after another. Let's take it back to Buhari administration. The first 4 years, it was one damn thing after another against the Fulanis, politically speaking, to see if that newfound Togane is going to be dissolved. Why I bring trouble? Because whether we like it or not, the Donald Trump base is still as strong as it can. So now the dilution of that cohesion, now it happened here too. And so that's what is happening. How the only threat to Bola Tinubu presidency, not the first one, if there's going to be another 4 years, is that cohesion that we are seeing within the Northeast. If they can get any other 1 or 2 zones to agree with their message, it is over for this presidency. They know that. So it's going to be one damn thing another. How you respond is what matters. How you respond to what damn thing that happened that thrown your way. But if you look at the campaign, if you easily see how many times you mention how APC attack NMPP. How many times? The same thing goes to even the PDP, who is their main rival, according to them. Right? Their back and forth was pretty much on the media and mouth and all that. Not as violent towards the way APC they attack Labour Party. So if you put all these things together, it's about power. It's all about politics, honor politics. Now people can say, "Oh, why they put on very trivial? People they die." Now human being they play the game. Now human being go die, whether we like it or not. It's all about how we respond going forward.
All right, thank you, Shegun. Do you think, apart from, I don't want you to repeat what all the other people have said. I want you to look, a little bit wider. What should have been, if the government is failing to do its job, what options do people have?
Well, I think it's quite straightforward. The government have failed in providing infrastructure for people. So people are providing light for themselves, providing water for themselves, providing security for themselves. So if, the government has failed in securing businesses, people will want to secure their own business. I mean, that's a natural thing that anybody will want to do, self-defense. So, but the only thing that has gone wrong here is that the guy, number one, has made known what he wants to do, what they want to do. I don't want to believe that as it is at the moment, people will not be making preparation to secure their business because that's their livelihood. So I mean, yes, they should make that arrangement, get people, but there's no need coming to the public, to say that, and then involving IPOB also then kind of polarize that decision. But it is natural for somebody to want to defend his business. I think the way to go is to either secure vigilante to do that for them or private security to sort it for them. But again, understanding that the police and the DSS were the ones that have arrested it, this is a double standard, really. I mean, people have said MC Oluoma and the co have made insightful statements and nothing happened to them. And then one chief in Ajao Estate is being picked up for that. I mean, the government should sit up. I was thinking that this thing was just dealing about the election, but it is spiraling beyond the election. And it doesn't look like, I mean, with what is happening, it doesn't look like it's going to abate soon. So we're quite in a dire situation if the government does not live up to his own expectation. To buttress a point view, to the extent that I understand that this thing has actually eaten into people. I was speaking to a friend of mine who is in Igbo in Nigeria, and because we were talking about this kind of things, he was outside. We couldn't discuss. He said, "Well, we can't discuss further because he doesn't know who and who are beside him." So we had to wait for him to get to his house before we could discuss comfortably. Now, this is the extent of which this thing is hitting into people's mind, creating fear and also creating self-defense. So the governments need to wake up, and the election is over. The rest is in the courts. They need to manage the policy. Nobody needs to hit up the policy. But again, I wouldn't blame anybody, be it Igbo or Hausa or Yoruba, that makes private arrangements to protect his property. But they shouldn't just come to the open to reveal your secrets, really. Otherwise, this is going to turn into ethnic war. So it's quite unfortunate that we're here, but again, we'll just keep talking about it, and people should keep, being at alert. That's what I think about this particular one.
All right, thank you, Shegun. Thank you, Austin.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for the statement of that man. I will begin with what Akuche said. Akuche said that he doesn't believe in jungle justice, that the guy that took 10,000 to burn the market should be killed. No, that guy should be paid for, and that guy should be taken care of. Because for him to take 10,000 to commit that crime means the highest level of inhumanity that guy have faced. Who gave him the 10,000? Who gave the person that gave him the 10,000? They are the problem of the society and not the guy. So just leaving that part. In the statement of this man, only two things are wrong. The two things that are wrong are where he came from. That is the only thing that made that statement wrong. And the second thing that is wrong there is including every one of us from that place in the Nigerian definition of terrorism. These are the only two things. The statement is not correct. It's very, very much correct. Let's analyze the statement.
Okay.
He said, if they don't want to defend us, we go and bring the IPOBs. So in bringing IPOB, he has included all of us as terrorists. But he said, we'll go and bring IPOBs and ask them to secure us. We'll give them job because they don't have job. That is the work of Festus Kayamo, to give people job. But he said, we'll give them job and they will stop terrorizing. That's his statement. Remember in July, either 21st or 22nd, 2019, the Army GOC made a comment that a Boko Haram person can become the president of the country. What is different between that statement and this statement? Just because he's an Igbo man and because he included all of us. It's a security issue.
Hold on, when you say included all of us, who are the us?
Everyone from Igbo. Is for him to accept that IPOB is a Nigerian defined terrorist, to say to go and bring everybody from, because IPOB is every indigenous person from the Biafran territorial area. So every one of us that speak this language that belongs to that place is the person he has included in Nigerian definition of terrorism.
So I'm confused with
Yeah,
yeah, I'm really confused. So you're saying that there's something wrong in bringing IPOB to defend the markets, if that is what he's saying.
the right thing would have been the correct thing. The right thing is what he meant is to take them away and give them job so that they will stop criminality. That's the statement. If we give them job, they now get job. They will stop criminality.
All right, Austin, we'll come back to you when we talk about the
I'll be
city
glad.
pump in Lagos. Yeah, Mastro, your take.
Yeah, Mr. Rudolph, good afternoon, and good afternoon to everyone from here. It's my first time on your program.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity here. From my own perspective, I think everyone is wrong. But first and foremost, I don't even know who are the audience in front of this man when he was talking, because I know that market people normally get security from the general OPC. You understand? It's a known thing that OPC normally guides their market. So for one, I think the OPC has failed them, and this man is maybe surrounded by the security people and other people who were there in the room with him. I don't know. I just knew that the camera was facing him when he was talking. So we don't know who this man was addressing while he was making his speech, but because we are on the internet era now where things go viral, this particular speech has gone wide. And what the man was saying was on a local level, pedestrian level, if you don't secure our market, we will go and look for IPO. But it has gone and reached the far and wide. And then in a country that is as punitive and volatile as Nigeria, it is of course going to be read in a different way. And two, I blame the man for also making such a comment. You cannot make such a comment. If you know that your markets are in distress, you know that every time there's a small problem, your markets are in distress, you plan underground. You change security underground. You don't come and make a broadcast. And I heard him say, oh, you can video me too. Yes, I'm saying you don't make such statements because you know that the institutions that are in charge of Nigeria are being influenced by politicians. The politicians keep silent when things favor them, and they force these institutions to arrest when it doesn't favor them. And this is what is happening. So you have to be smart. You are dealing with politicians who have influence over the security. So why go and make such statements? So I think that's what just happened there. This man was probably making a pedestrian statement, but not understanding the full consequence of what the viral nature of the internet could bring upon him.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okoye, you're next.
Thank you, Doctor. Good afternoon, morning. For me, I don't think there's anything wrong with what the man said. And that is quite clear because the man was simply, saying that if you don't provide protection for our people, the Igbos in Lagos, we will make arrangements to protect ourselves. The man is not talking about offensive here. He's talking about defending himself, defending his business. So for the police to swing into action immediately, by arresting him shows that there is some kind of, bias or, prejudice against Igbos at the moment, which is sort of, and I'm quite surprised that it is coming from the Yoruba people. I used to think that the Fulani, 2 years ago, were the problem of Nigeria. But now it seems like, there is this onslaught against the Igbos from left, right, and center. Once you're an Igbo man, then you become, a target, which to me is completely, unacceptable. Igbos shouldn't be, treated as if they are, this, outcast in Nigeria, in our own country. Why must that be? And some people will make some outrageous and, racist and tribalistic comments and get away with it. Why? Why would that happen? in Nigeria. And this old chief that probably was making comments out of anger, out of something that he has felt that has happened to him, then they went and pick him up. Why would they do that? That is wrong. That is incendiary. That action is completely, blowing up the whole polity, because some people will find it very, very offensive and, biased. Why must they do that? Why didn't they, invite him like they invited FFK to question him? Why did they have to go and, arrest him like that? It's wrong. And then the Yorubas should actually, anyway, I wouldn't say all the Yoruba, because the Afenifere has come out to condemn most of the violence that is perpetrated on the Igbo. So I wouldn't include all the Yorubas in it. But the Yorubas themselves has to be very, very careful. It's only so much they can push the Igbos before we start reacting. And this is not a threat. I'm just saying that human beings, you can only treat them, push them so much. They can only, I know we are quite elastic, but we cannot take it for long. We cannot take this sort of onslaught and violence against us. Yorubas has to be very, very careful. Nobody has monopoly of violence. Igbos has the right to defend themselves. If you come to attack the Igbos will defend themselves. And that should be very clear to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Okoye. Maxi, you're next.
Thank you so much, Dr. Damages. Good evening from the city of Bolgatanga, from the upper eastern part of Ghana. I have an Igbo blood running in me. My mother is an Abia State woman, and anything that affects an average Igbo man or woman, I stand against it, even during my active service in the Nigerian military for 18 years. Igbo people are the only people that will shut their doors when their children are chased by the enemy. Igbo people, you people, you will shut your doors and allow the enemy to consume your children. That is what you people have been doing, even on social media. You are my Namoches and Inemoches. I don't know if there is any Igbo woman that is here. I'm a Ghanaian, and I feel sorry for you people. Seeing you speak the way you speak, when your people are being attacked and killed on a daily basis for calling themselves one Nigeria. I was in Kaduna. The Sharia riot was targeted at the Igbo people. Are Igbo people Muslims? Their businesses in Central Bank. Go and check the Central Market, Kaduna, very close to Leventis. Go and check the people that dominated the electronics. I speak with passion, and when it comes to Igbo people, and I don't want anybody to be treated the way they have been treating the Igbo people across Nigeria. Today is Lagos. If that man, is it not in the same Lagos that someone came out and said, if an Igbo son, Igbo governor whose mother is from the Igbo ethnic extraction, and the father is a typical Lagosian, that if he wins, when you go to school with their children, you should begin to slap them. Is that not what that man said? Is it not on video that someone said, if you are not Igbos, you shouldn't come to Yoruba land and vote, especially in Lagos? What happened to them? What other horrible statement can anybody make in a country that you say you are one, that is worse than this? Is it not a Yoruba Oba that made a very rascal statement as well, that the Igbos will be chased to the lagoon simply because they are exercising their constitutional right to vote? What kind of nation is that? What caused Nana Akufo-Addo election here in Ghana before he became the president was all die be die statement. Go and check it. That made him to lose the election that time. He's supposed to win. He lost because of all die be die. Even if you die while voting, or you die in the road accident, or all die be die. Go and check it. Igbos are killed. When they kill Qassam Hussein in the Arabian Gulf, Igbo people will suffer in Nigeria. And when they come out and speak the way they speak, all of you will come turn against them and begin to criticize them. How many, since the Nigerian government proscribed IPOB, have they gone to court and challenge it? Have they gone to challenge it? Igbo people, you people are, in fact, I see a very high level of hypocrisy in all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mazi. Dr. Chidi.
Let me start by thanking you, Dr. Damages, for having me on your show. But let me please sound a very serious note of warning to my brother who just spoke before me, that when you speak, you can speak for yourself. I find it very insulting for you to look me in the face and speak the way you speak. You can have your disagreements, you can feel the way you feel, but don't you dare throw a blanket statement and say Igbo people, and by extension someone like me. I reject your statement and I don't condone it. When you want to, you can speak the way you want about your feeling, but don't.
If you're angry about that,
please just stop.
I am sorry about it. So that is what I want to say.
Damages,
so
I hope
if I'm sorry, if you're angry about what I said, I am sorry about it, and that makes me who I am. Thank you.
Dr. Damages, if you won't let me talk, if somebody disturbs me, I will drop down from your show, please. Now, going forward with my time, which that gentleman has eaten into already, in the Bible, if you recall, when in the story of Esther, Mordecai, Esther's uncle went to the king and he said, look at what they've done against my people. And the king told him, I've already given the order and I cannot take it back. But I give you permission to defend yourself. He said that because it is only a tree that hears that you're going to come cut it down, sees you sharpening an axe, sees you sitting down by the tree and resting after sharpening the axe and snuffing your stuff, your snuff, and gisting about how you're going to cut down the tree. And the tree listens to all of these things. And that tree remains there until you come and you cut it down. Only a tree does that. Human beings don't do that. And not just human beings, Igbo people don't do that. Like you see in my title there, I am a Biafran and I am an unapologetic Igbo man. God damn it. When must Igbo people apologize for everything they do? When must Igbo people give reasons for everything they do? And let me tell you out there, whether you like it or not, it's just like a black person saying that I am not black. You're black. You're black. You're black. The indigenous people of Biafra are indigenous people of Biafra. I don't need you to claim you are or you are not. If you are born in Biafra land, you are an indigenous person of Biafra. You may not belong to the IPOB organization, but you are IPOB. You can go and scrape it. You can go and scrape your body and wash yourself with the highest concentrated chemical. It will not wash it off you. Now, my problem with the people who want to be mischievous with this IPOB thing is when you are not able to separate somebody like Simon Ekpa and IPOB struggle. Anybody who wants to be fair to IPOB must never join IPOB with Simon Ekpa. If you really want to talk about IPOB and you follow the statements that have been put out there by the IPOB that was established by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will know that they have nothing to do with Simon Ekpa and his autopilot movement. Recently, you saw Simon Ekpa being interviewed by the Finnish radio media company, and he claimed that he was representing IPOB, and IPOB that is under the leadership of Mazi Chikedozie, who is the structure set up by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said we are not, he is not one of us. But every time you want to speak, you say Simon Ekpa of IPOB. That is very mischievous. Any human being can get up today, and I live in Canada. I can come and say that I am the representative of Igbos in Canada. But am I? Am I? The gentleman who was in the plane shouting obedience, obedience, was he sent by obedience? How dare you say that you cannot have an Igbo chief in Lagos? Don't you have Serikin Hausa community in Enugu? Don't you have a Serikin in Owerri? What is wrong with that? Igbos, we have town unions everywhere we go. That is part of our culture, and we can have anything that we want. It is only when people want to. I am sick and tired of this nonsense. We will not stop talking. We will not go and hide in Nigeria. We will not. I have Yoruba friends. I have Hausa friends. If you can't handle me, go and deal with it. If you threaten me, I will threaten you. We are not stupid. We saw clearly MC Olumo, and I don't even want to talk about it like this. What will be will be. Dare us. Push us to the wall. When it happens, it will happen, and it may happen. Why should we apologize? Why should he apologize? If you don't defend me, I will defend myself. Because of what? Why? Why should the Igbo man be apologetic for being angry? Didn't we see the build-up to all of this? Did we not see the build-up? Did we not see the build-up day after day after day, up until the election day? We saw it happen. We know what people are doing now. They're just looking for excuses to justify what happened in Lagos. That is wrong. All this propaganda that you're mounting to make the Igbo man look, it's wrong. And let me tell you, there is no apology for let it rain, let it continue. Nobody has monopoly of violence. You come, you threaten people. You threaten the Igbo man. There's a policeman standing beside you. You give all kinds of excuses. They keep quiet. You say throw them into the lagoon. They keep quiet. You burn their market. They keep quiet. Why? Okay, they're trying to be Nigerians wherever they are. If you don't want them to be Nigerians, let them go to their Biafra. Enough of all this nonsense. And for anybody who wants to be mischievous, it is not fair. Stop being mischievous with this IPOB thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the real IPOB, they're going about their thing. They never said there will be no election. They never called for sit at home. The criminal, the thief, and the fraud, Simon Ekpa, is doing his own thing. By actually presenting him or misrepresenting him the way we are doing it, we are the ones endangering the lives of Igbo people everywhere. The man that said he's going to call IPOB, the man is angry, he's frustrated. What do you want him to say? Okay, did you see IPOB in Lagos? Did you? Somebody is coming to threaten them with Agberos and you come and threaten my father with saying, I'm going to bring my children to come and beat your children. And my father now says, oh, I'm going to bring my own children now, and you're angry with him. Why? When they were saying, oh, MC Olumo and the Agboro boys and the area boys will beat Igbo people, and when they did all that, who arrested them? Who arrested them? And when this man is angry and he wants to talk, he's looking at his back. IPOB is the only thing. It was ESN. I keep saying it. Every Igbo man, it gives me goose pimples. The day ESN was formed, that was the day we felt like we had somebody defending us. And when this man looks to the left, you should be worried. Now, when this man looked to the left and the right, he didn't see the Nigerian police. He didn't see DSS. He didn't see the military. The only thing that he saw that gave him hope was IPOB. When that is happening in a country like Nigeria, you should be worried. How come it's not depending on the military? How come it's not depending on the police? There is something there. And you are angry that he's saying that.
All right, Chidi, Dr. Chidi, thank you so much. Yaron, Yesu, welcome to the show. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. And just like what Dr. and Maxi said, I think I'm going to go a slightly different direction because Nigeria, at the the history, we can go back to the history and see how it all started. From the Queen and when we're given independence. There's so many things that went wrong, and I think we're traumatized by the coups that happened that has led us to this point because there's so many things that other tribes bring to the table. I grew up in Kaduna, so there's so many stuff that the Igbo people and Yoruba people that are good at that any other tribe doesn't get involved in. And we talk about the Igbo, they're good at the electronics, they're good at the import and export. Those are like some of the highlights that I can remember. So all these things going on right now is as a result of the trauma that we're going through. And there's no state that you're going to go to that you're not going to find any other tribe that's contributing to the country. And I think one blanket thing that was going on was the Wazobia. Wazobia was a thing that was created to actually unify all the cultures and see the good in it and find our common ground so that we can grow. And that's the only way I feel as a country, as a nation, we can grow. Because you saying Igbo, that a lot of Igbos grew up in the north, they can't fit in back home and they can't fit in where they are. Is a big dilemma. But we have to create that sense of ownership. And what's happening in Lagos is injustice. Whether you don't have to be an evil person to see what is wrong, and what is right. And I think that's what we should be all advocate of. What is it? We should find that common ground that is going to help us move forward. We have other like sports and other cultural days that we put together that can help us grow, because this is the only way I see us going further than where we are in this point. Because
let me ask you.
Yeah.
I know it's easy to say cultural things something unifies us, but you accepted that there's something unjust going on. How do you think you can move away from resolving that and still have peace? Do you think it's possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. How is that?
It is possible because it has happened before. It is possible we have to just advertise more on what unifies us more. We need to just highlight that more. Like the sports, I think sporting event is like one of the biggest common ground that I found that really unifies us more. And the cultural thing comes in play too when we put aside the military regime did a little bit of good work with forcing everybody to work together. I think that was one aspect of it, but it also came with a lot of bloodshed. So
do you have an example of a society where you see injustice and something else is unifying them without dealing with that injustice?
Oh, definitely. I think in New York here, like they have one of the most diverse cultures ever. Like there's so many people from a lot of different countries that you don't even know the names, but somehow the system is working because they have a system in place that checks and balances most of the stuff. It's not going to be right. It's not going to be 100% right. But the major fact is that the injustice has there's a point where you can actually call it out, and for the greater good for those societies, you just put it in place. because the way we're running it just by the majority of these people in this cultural area. They're the ones that are going to run the show, whether you like it or not, without listening to the minority voice. So somebody in the minority camp can actually have a better idea on how we can move forward. But we can't do it in the midst of injustice. So yeah, and people keep thinking that Nigeria is diverse. Yeah, we're diverse. We have a lot of cultures, but the biggest example is New York, California. They have more people. They have more diverse people from different countries. They have different cultures entirely, but they created a safe haven that if you're a minority and you're willing to work hard, you can actually make it. And we can actually also come together like that. And I think they gave us a blueprint, but that Wazobia thing, I think we can actually go through that.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paul, I will skip you for now. I'll come back to you when we talk about sit at home. And let me go to IGBO Basics. IGBO Basics, you're next.
Yeah, Dr. Damages, good morning to all. And we thank God for another day in health. During the war, we had the Ohafia war dancers. And they prepared. They went to the war front. Back. Then what happened next? They were wiped out with machine guns. So that was a lesson as they retreated. You cannot fight a 21st century war with a 20th century method. You can do that. Ihe nwoke na-eme dị n'obi. As the guy in Lagos who spoke, he voiced out his mind. It's all a part of where we are today. In the 70s, somebody took uniform, black uniform, and put on all the Megat, all the night watchmen. From there, it was called IGBO Security in Aba. The security has always been the bottom line of the whole thing. Yeah, I can understand Dr. Chidi and his very forceful and thoughtful presentation. That's where we are. However, what is going on in society now, Nigerian society now, everybody wants to attach himself to the important one way or the other. Hence, people like Tai Belofu in New York wants to go and start talking nonsense about IPOB because he's APC chairman in New York. That's Tai Belofu, publisher of African Eye. Like I say again, here what can I make Nobi? And the process of Akuluno, Dr. Rudolph, you should look at that and what is going on with that process, Akuluno, because it's about time that people will take their true Aku. I saw somebody present innocent motors. Great deed. The fact remains this, and I'm going to talk about what Rudolph Okonkwo as Bayo Onanuga joins the League of Genocide Champions in Nigeria. He goes on to say that those who intend to perpetuate genocide begin by finding ways, using laws and customs to deny rights to the group they intend to slaughter. That was a masterful presentation that goes a long way. I've been trying to find a way to put some kind of imagery to it. If you haven't read it, it's worth reading. The first thing that came into my mind was salt. In your kitchen, you find salt, and you eat with salt every day. So I put salt on one side, I put Biafran Nigerian pounds on one side, I put the Biafran pound on one side, I put the old Naira on one side, put the new Naira on one side. I'm still trying to find a way to have an imagery that anybody can see and understand what's going on. So my presentation here is this. For anybody who has been burning Igbo people's market, be it in Kanu, be it in Lagos, be it anywhere, enough is enough. But what Igbos, what Nigerians must do, Igbo particularly, use your number 6. This is no longer a time. Like I said here, somebody cannot say he's coming to kill you and burn your market, destroy their means of livelihood, and you sit down there and watch them. The next thing you should do is not to come and announce, I'm going to bring, why involve, bring IPOB? You could have equally said, I'm going to make my own security. And if you said that, use your number 6 so that you leave to fight another day. So let us look into that Akuluno so that wherever good things are, people should go there. And by Akuluno, you will find the strength of the Igbo in Nigeria and beyond.
All right.
That is my submission for now.
Thank you, Igbo Best. Thank you. Can I hear next?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Damages. I think for the first time, I'm agreeing with some of what Dr. Shidi said here. And this, I don't know, but I think this, I don't know what is going on here. I can hear some feedback.
Hold on, let me see. Who, go ahead, try again. Let me see.
Okay, I think it's okay now. No. I think some of us have virtually said everything, but I just have a little to add to what is going on in Lagos. Yes, somebody said that condemn having the SNDIBO in Lagos State. Ordinarily, we shouldn't be talking about having SNDIBO in Lagos State, but I think it has become a norm. It's normalized already in Nigeria, where you go to the east, you find Serkin Hausawa. You come to the north, you find SNDIBO in the north. So I think it's something that the society have normalized. Moving forward, the Ezra has been arrested for calling for security of his own people in Lagos State. It's so pathetic for the what they call him, the governor of Lagos State, to even allow the security agency to go for that man. This is the same governor that was in the same Lagos when MC Oluomo was threatening the life of Ndibo. Not even just threatening, he carried it out and nobody arrested him. The same Lagos State Police Command was there when the Oba of Lagos threatened that he would dump Igbo people in Lagoon if they vote against APC. Oba of Lagos was not arrested, but SNDIBO was arrested. You see, this kind of there's one saying in Nigeria: "See finish." It's a matter of see finish. You know, you can handle the Igbos the way you like, but when it is your own people that are threatening the Igbos, you know, you look elsewhere. What's his name? Ononuga, whatever. Literally threatened Igbos. Femi Fani-Kayode threatened the life of, in short, he threatened the entire Nigeria that if Bola Tinubu's ticket is overturned, that they will make Nigeria ungovernable. Nobody arrested Femi Fani-Kayode, but today they are quick to arrest the Eze. But this is it. I may disagree with the Eze, honestly, because IPOB, when IPOB was Christine terrorist, I didn't hear anything from this same Eze. I didn't see any protests in the Lagos State. You know, in Lagos State. I mean, some of these political Ezes, because I see them as politicians, we are literally calling for the head of Nnamdi Kanu, and today you want to call IPOB to come and protect you. I don't know when IPOB has become security agencies. IPOB is not your megad. You run your market. You should have security outfit to protect your market. If the state government is not protecting you, make that available for yourself. Protect yourself. You can recruit. We have Igbo youth in Lagos State. You can recruit them, train them to protect the market. I don't know how somebody from the east will come all the way from the east to come to Lagos and protect you. How is that possible? Protect yourself. Last time I called it up here, and some people were like, "Oh, you don't say that in public." Protect yourself. This is Nigeria for you. Nobody's going to do that for you. You are Igbo.
All right.
You should know that.
Can I thank you? we'll quickly go to the people who have yet to say something on this, and then we go back to the second part of this topic. So Ngozika, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Damage. Good evening, everyone in the studio. Thanks for having me on the show. I was going to stay back on YouTube and watch and wait for Mr. One Man Went to Move to come and be a guest, but I I decided to come in to say something real quick. When things are happening, we should not just look at events at the moment. We should look at the lead up to it. I'd sooner believe anything except what comes out of the Nigerian government's mouth. And talking about this whole SNDBO in Lagos thing, please, it's a complete circus. Any diligent Igbo person, right-thinking Igbo person, should do well to disassociate herself, both from his utterances and from his purported arrest. Now, them, it is still the same people. It's all propaganda, and I do not mince words when I say it. These people are known for doing the most base things to stir up emotions, to stoke sentiments, and you think they will not go as far as doing this? How convenient! How very convenient that in a time where Lagos is a hotspot, a very dangerous zone for Igbos living there, and SND Igbo, knowing the way IPOB, who unfortunately have been Christian and a terrorist group. Unfortunately, I say unfortunate because they are not a terrorist group. They are not a terrorist group. Let's be clear on that. It was most unfortunate that we sat down despite our protest, and that tag has stayed with them. It is I find it very convenient that an SNDBO, at a time where Igbos are being targeted in Lagos and accused of trying to take Lagos, a very stupid rhetoric that they used to justify their animalistic bigotry. At a time when the Igbos are targeted, somebody sits somewhere and says he's going to call IPOB to come and do what? It's Alanape. It's Nike Kume. How does it even make sense to any Igbo person? And you believe it? You actually believe it? How? That means you believe anything. It's just like believing that man screaming inside that quiet Ibom air, the one shouting obedient, I'm naked, they're taking me. It's just like believing that he's actually obedient. Please come on now. This is the more you look, the less you see. These are people that rented bishops that were wearing go-go. These are people that did that. These are people that the NSAS massacre that you watched on Instagram Live, they came to gaslight you and tell you it did not happen. These are the same people that are telling you that an SND in Lagos is calling for IPOB to come and defend them. And just like Kene said, IPOB to come and defend them as Genekwano, as the police, he is calling for IPOB to come and defend them, and you believe it. And he has been conveniently arrested, and you still do not see the pattern. You do not see that it's like using a stone to kill two birds. You get him to stir up sentiments to further push the narrative that indeed we are trying to take over Lagos, and then you arrest him to further send resentment down the few Igbos that will believe he actually speaks for them. It's a win-win for them, and I'm just shocked. I keep on the show just to express my shock that people are actually buying into it. I do not buy into it. It's all charade as far as I'm concerned, and a very demonic one. I am beyond. I'm going to use 1 month when aghast. I am aghast. Nandi will have fallen for this. I mean, come on now. We are better than this. The whole thing speaks of a very demonic plan. And I want to say this, and I want to be very clear about it. When we say he was arrested, but MTO Loma was not arrested. He was arrested by the Oba of Lagos. That's exactly what they want to hear. You still don't get it. That is exactly what they want to hear. It's all part of the game. Anybody that comes out inciting any form of, even insinuating it, the right thing should be to call the person in for questioning. The likes of Ononuga that has sold himself so cheap. I saw somebody brought up his post in 2019, I think, when he went to the genocide museum in Rwanda, and he was having a moment of sober reflection. How cute. If someone Ononuga is about to set every Ndibo, if he has his way, Ndibo will be burning. He would have been ashes by now. Same Ononuga. And I will sit here and we pontificate about whether Ndibo can harvest Ndibo in Lagos, about stupid things that do not make sense. And meanwhile, it is unfolding before our very eyes how this deadly game they are playing is going to pan out either way if we do not take hold of the narrative and say things the way it is.
All right.
And
Let
me
can I
just
ask Ngozi a question?
Okay, Shegun, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Ngozi, why would you think that this is all a propaganda and that somebody is arranging an Ndibo to make such insightful statement just because they want to skew the narrative? And the reason why I ask is the issues are out there. Shops are being burned. Akelele shop was burned. I think Olowu shop was burned. There are some other attacks. People are visibly angry. People are, fear is everywhere. And you think these things wouldn't have gotten to him and he wouldn't have expressed an opinion. I'm just thinking, I mean, for me, I don't think it's a propaganda. It's
okay, let me answer you real quick.
It's unfortunate that the story...
You asked a question. I thought it was a question you were asking.
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question we're not fighting. So it's unfortunate that the story, the video has come out. People have said so many things that have not come out, but his has come out. So why would you think it's a propaganda?
Because of the convenience of it all and knowing the people that are play here. See, I have always said it that we should be very careful when we set precedents. Yes, we should be very, very careful, because when you set a precedent and then nothing is done about it, and then another person does it, and it just sort of goes like that. And the people involved, the people who this whole statement favors, it doesn't favor Ndibo in any way. This statement from the so-called SNDibo does not favor Ndibo in any way. If the Igbo people in Lagos actually wanted to protect themselves, I am betting you 100% that Igbo, they're not going to come and make a video of it. They would not make a video of it and it will fly on the internet. No, you won't hear it. You will
But
just
the
see
video
it being
wasn't made to be
implemented.
circulated. Somebody just did it.
That is the point. Somebody, obviously, he was speaking to the camera. It's not as if he was speaking and somebody was clandestinely videoing him. He was speaking to the camera. He knew the video was going to be viewed. He wanted it public. And it went public for the same purpose of pushing that stupid animalistic narrative. This is quite easy. Please, it is just what it is.
Just to put a clause, he made the comment, I want it to go viral, let it go viral. So it was a game.
All right. Let's hear from CM. CM, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Rudolph. Am I coming out clear, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now, without wasting time, because Nigeria as a country is too hypocritical. So as a person, I say it the way it is. Chinua Achebe addressed Ndibo sometime in Owerri. The title was a Ahedioku lecture, Tabubo. Today is significant. How do I translate it? Today is timely, or maybe it's early enough. Let me bring it home. If Ndibo, after investing billions, and you do not protect your investment, if Ndibo in Lagos had done this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this type of thing wouldn't be happening. You cannot tell me an average shop, motor spare parts, Ladipo at Lagos, average 40 million is what? Naira. Just take, for instance, you buy carburetor of Toyota Avensis. Toyota is made in Japan. You buy dollar at about 700 naira to a dollar. You fly to Japan and buy injector carburetor for Toyota Avensis. You pack it in your shop. Just a very small space it will occupy. Now, an average shop in a Lade for about 40 million. Those that are rich, some are in the neighborhood of 250 million. Business, 300, 500 million, got burnt just like that. When they talk of Balogu, that is where they say jewelries, gold. Some have got burnt just like that. You know what it means? What I'm even blaming this man is, why did you even make it open? Why? If it was Osama bin Laden you want to hire to protect you, you should have quietly just keep quiet, go and bring the person. My annoyance, if I see the man, I say, look, you didn't behave like an Igbo man. Those that come to burn your shop, do they announce it openly in the meeting? Do they? Saturday, 25th February, there was presidential election, or there was election in Nigeria. On Monday, 2 days later, I lost my cousin. Why? They looked at him at Eladepo, said no, they shouldn't open their shops. They were ordered not to open. The guy said, okay, let me take 1 or 2 things and go home then, and to my wife. Only to open shop to take something from the drawer. They stabbed him here. Tinubu Sagberu stabbed him to death. He was just like a burst pipe of a public tap. Burst. Blood was gushing out. They ran away. Which hospital will you go to? The guy bled there and died. With 3 children and number 4 on the way. If they had had security guarding their shop, it can't happen now. It can't happen. Self-defense. If nobody can blame you, the fact that somebody, Nigerians build houses, mansion, they will put a gate man and do the fence almost to decking level, and on top of the fence, they put spiral wire. Why are they putting it? They want to protect their investment, because they may have gold jewelries in the house so that a thief cannot come and steal it. So how then do you now have a motor parts shop worth 200 million naira and you go and sleep and somebody set it on fire and you start to cry, hey, CM, you people are abroad, oh, can you people do us fundraising? My first daughter is studying chemical engineering at Unizik. The other one is studying economics at UNN. The other one is going for postgraduate. This is what we've been hearing every morning. Every 5 a.m., the alarm, your mobile phone will go up. This man, they should have done this long time. Today, in fact, I want them to even recruit whoever they are recruiting. Whether it is Irish Republican Army they want to bring in. I'm 1,000,000% in support. As long as those people are to guard the shop at night. In Nigeria, being Igbo is your endangered species. I don't want to go into the maybe because what Ojukwu said then, and they're still holding true. It is not the Igbo that we are that is causing the problem. The Igbo that people see us to be. You see, in Nigeria, an Igbo man must be a Nigerian. Like every other Nigerian within the context of Nigeria. Olumo cannot threaten the entire civilization. And they say it's a joke. And when somebody said, I want to protect my destiny, they carry him for what? For what? Igbo say, a jindu emegon, of what use is this life? Where will we go to? 6 years after the Civil War, we hoisted our flag. They said, no, you must come back. And we came back. By force. Our properties were seized. Till today, abandoned property. Reconstruction, rehabilitation, reconciliation. Where was it done? Nothing. People that were set back by 30 months of civil war. What you need to reward them, you now say you are from, no, it's like you are from Imo State. You must score this cutoff. You are from Zamfara State. Okay, this is your cutoff mark. You are from Ogun State. You are from Cross River. You are from Benue. You are from Plateau. For what? Igbos owed nobody. You see, what you tolerate is what will kill you. If Igbo had done what they are supposed to do, how can you tell me? There are a lot of things to burn in Lagos. Jankara market is full of Yoruba people. Nobody burns them down. If you go to Tejuosho market, behind Tejuosho, you have what they call Tejuosho Street. The plank, the timber being sold there are dominated by the Yorubas from Kwara State and some areas in Akoko Edo of Ondo State. Nobody burns it down. Cattle, cow is being slaughtered in Lagos in their thousands every day. Some people bring it from the north. They know where the businesses are. They can't burn it down. Beans, beans is being consumed in Lagos. It's not cultivated in Lagos. They bring it down from somewhere. They know where the warehouses, where they are stored bags of beans. Every day, trail offloading them. They won't touch them. All they are looking for is where IGBO man who brings a Japanese spare parts. They will go and destroy it. For God's sake, this man is dirty. The only mistake he made was to make it open. Quietly, you should have recruited. Recruit if it's a, what is it called? The Mossad, Israeli defense. That is the Israeli secret service. If I have the money, I recruit it for them. You protect what you have. You don't have a job. You set up a business worth millions of naira, and somebody will burn it down, and nothing happens. No compensation, nothing. They kill you. If they had done what they're supposed to do, my cousin would have been alive by now. So I don't like to paint things. If you don't like being in the position of Ndibo, for what? Where will we run to? If you go down to the east, no way. You come to the north, no way. You stay in the west, no way. Okay, Igbos, go to your place. Where we go now to? If I go back to my father's land, I raise my flag, they will say you want to break Nigeria. When Nigeria cannot protect you, can't I protect myself? What really are we talking about? Let the man engage Mossad. That is my vote. If he starts letting the Igbo pay, we engage Mossad, Israeli secret service. Let them come and gather our shops in Lagos. That is the investment. What hundreds of millions of naira? Who doesn't know the cost of motor spare parts? Do you think it's sweet? And it's not made in Nigeria. $1 is more than 700 naira with all the bribe. You go and bring it and then put it in a shop. And somebody will come and in the midnight they burn it down. Tomorrow you start to say, hey, please, for what?
All right, thank you, Sam. Show, you're next.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Damages. Good evening, everyone.
Did you just call me?
No.
Good evening, Dr. Damages. Good evening, everyone else listening. I'll touch on a few things because I'm not sure if I'll come back today. With regards to the Eze in Lagos, I quite agree with what Ngozika said. It's hard to believe that is actually what happened. If it is genuinely what happened, then that is an idiot. You don't announce what you want to do like that. Like someone rightly said, when they plan to attack you and all of that, they don't often announce it. The one MC Ulomo announced, he was quickly advised to do a video. So maybe the Eze should take a leaf out of his book and do a video and said, I was only joking. And go and get somebody that he calls IPOB and say that person's, names is Ikechuku, Peter, Obi, something, and said, that's IPOB. Because that's exactly what MC Ulomo did. And you had the Nigerian police come on TV to defend him, to say he was only joking. So I don't want to believe that's genuine because remember, what's this son guy, Keyamo? He went on TV and he said, we're going to match them propaganda for propaganda. People need to listen. He said it like 3 or 4 days ago. He said, we're going to match them propaganda for propaganda. The next thing, one Eze came from somewhere, from nowhere, and he's speaking on behalf of the Igbos. Then there's this other idiot that was found on the plane shouting, obedient, obedient. Tinubu cannot be sworn in as the president. And the difference between the obedient camp, and the other guys is, this guy that was on the plane that was caught, there's a Twitter handle I follow. Can't remember the name. I'll drop the name in the chat. They've started profiling this. They've started, researching this guy. Who is he? This guy that said he's an obedient guy. Who is he? People need to see the things he's put out in the past in support of Obi, if it is genuine. Because obedients are not in support of that kind of behavior. Why do you want to ground a flight just because, a case is in court? Obedients are trying to disassociate themselves from this guy by digging into him, finding out who he is. If it was the other side, they don't care. As long as it's propaganda, it works. They look the other way. So you can't blame people, if they genuinely want to defend themselves, protect their goods, maybe they should call on the DSS, because if you're on Twitter these days, any little thing you see the APC IGBO, the educated and the uneducated ones, they tag DSS. Even if you say good morning, they will tag DSS. This person said it's good morning. You don't know where I live. Maybe it's morning where I live. Everything they tag, they've reduced the DSS to a local vigilante group. So maybe the IGBO should speak to DSS and say, you know what, we actually want to contract you to come and be looking after our shops and protect it. Because that's what I see the DSS as. They're meant to be a secret organization going around and tweeting like a blog, saying there's a plan to install something government, a temporary government, or whatever they call it. Interim government. If there's a plot to do that, please arrest the people. We should find out after you've arrested them. When they're in court, that's when we should find out. But telling us, oh, just to warn you, there are people planning this. That's not your job as the DSS. But how can you even trust the DSS? DSS son was on Tinubu's campaign officially. One of his sons was on the campaign trail for Tinubu officially. This boy had pictures with Tinubu, tweeting that, you know, something, praise God, Tinubu won and all of that. And he was tweeting days later when he was exposed that, oh, he has a right to support who he wants to support. Yes, you do. But it leaves an impression. It's like the son of the MI5 chief saying that he supports Richie Sunak openly. No, you shouldn't do that. It might not be against the law, but morally, that's wrong. So when people complain, when people are saying these things begin to add up, you can't fault them. MC Uluomo said what he said. People who attack the next day, and you want them to trust you? No, they cannot. See, there's a deficiency of trust. You've robbed the people. Now they're showing us a 3-second video of proof of life. That is what they've reduced Nigeria to. They are sending us a 3-second clip of the president strolling the street of France. 3 seconds. And those 3 seconds are probably the best 3 seconds they could find. To say that, oh, by the way, your president is alive. He's able to take 3 steps. When people were saying this guy is not healthy, they said, are you a physician? They were asking dumb questions. Are you a physician? Are you his doctor? Do you have this? Do you have that? You can't blame people. These Ononuga people, all these Yoruba Ronu people, since the election, there have been about 2 or 3 attacks in the southwest, allegedly by the Fulani headsmen. Where are the Yoruba Ronu group? What have they said about it? What have they done? It's politics, like Ovie will say, but I'm saying it from a different perspective. It's politics. The earlier people open their eyes to see that these things is politicized, the better. Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Ronu. I mean, Ononuga was saying, he tweeted the other day, that old, see, Ononuga is a proof that fools get old. That guy is a fool, a big one. He tweeted about 2 days ago saying that a lady in France has been asked to pay 12,000 euro fine for writing or saying things that are derogatory against their president. That's Macron. So they are quick to compare Nigeria to France when somebody was told to pay 12,000 euros for saying, you know, maybe defamation against Macron. But the minute I compare electricity supply in France to Nigeria, they say don't compare. I compare the elections, how it's held in France to Nigeria. They say don't compare. I compare the price of our census that's to be conducted to the price it cost them in India. India is about 1.2 billion people. I compare how much it's going to cost. Don't compare. But you're quick to compare these things. These are some of the things that get people like me annoyed. And you ask questions. Why? Why are you so evil? For you, it's about winning. As long as you win, you don't care at what cost. Ononuga does not speak for Yoruba people. He does not. And that's why I keep coming on this show. I'm not pandering to the Igbo people. I'm not running for office. I have no interest. I don't even know if I qualify for it. So when people say he's pandering to the Igbo, to what gain? I've never met anybody. I live in the UK. Most of you live in the US. I'll probably never meet most of you in person. So what do I stand to gain by pandering to the Igbo people? I'm a proud Yoruba man that would defend my heritage. But all this, somebody want to take my land, somebody Yoruba Runu. No, it's politics. When was the last time you saw that Dayo Israel speak about the atrocities happening in the southwest in the hands of the Fulani headsmen? He doesn't speak about it because it doesn't benefit him. But you see Bayo Ononuga tweeting nonsense that somebody's been charged 12,000. I mean, look at what happened to Channels TV. Ahmed Dati Baba Ahmed went there. He said what he said. And Bayo Ononuga, on behalf of APC, or the Presidential Campaign Council, wrote to the commission, NBC, to find them. And 2 days later, Channels Television were fined 5 million naira.
It's not a lot of money for channels, but it's the message. So TV channels now will be thinking, do we invite these people to come and speak? Should we invite them to come and speak? Do we want to be fined? Forget the financial implication. The reputational damage is more costly than 5 million. So they'll be thinking now, see, they're going to gag the press. Say what you like. For those in Nigeria defending this administration, remember the days of your VPN. You like Twitter, go and get your VPN. Start buying, downloading, subscribing for VPN, because they're going to ban Twitter. They're going to ban a lot of things. Thank you.
Can I go next, Rufus? I'm only in and out.
Why? Why?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying with us. We're just going to be ending the broadcast at this point in time. We just wanted to air my submission on Dr. Damage's show. You may continue listening to the program on Dr. Damage's channel. But thank you so much for staying with us through this broadcast. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.